Hey everyone. Since today is Valentine's Day, I wanted to bring up a relevant subject, which is stop viewing being single as a bad thing. It's interesting how many people have this mentality when it comes to being single. A lot of people view it as a bad thing and they want to get rid of that status as quickly as possible. And this is kind of ridiculous in my opinion, because there are a lot of great benefits to being single, and I always take the stance of being single beats being in the wrong relationship. And a lot of the relationships out there that single people look at and are jealous of are not nearly as good as they appear to be on the surface level, because a lot of people, they're going to act like their relationship is better than it actually is, just like people do that with their jobs or with their personal life or whatever it may be, their happiness even. Everybody's trying to appear like they're better off in life than they actually are. And people do that with their relationships just as much as they do it with every other aspect of their lives. So don't buy into this idea that everybody in a relationship is happy. They're not all happy. Some people are in unhealthy, bad relationships, sometimes even toxic relationships. And in those cases, that's nothing to be jealous of, because being single beats being in those types of relationships. And I understand some people are the lucky ones who are in healthier, good relationships, but even in those cases, you shouldn't be jealous of them, because you can still work on yourself enough to be able to create something just like that. Don't act like that's out of reach for you, because you can get it. You just have to work on yourself. You have to make sure that you have self-awareness, that you have a good relationship to your own emotions so you're not going to take them out on someone else. And then you need to be happy and comfortable on your own. When you do those three things, when you work on those three things, you're basically paving the way for your ability to create a healthy relationship of your own. So it's just weird to me how so many people view being single as a bad thing. I think a lot of it stems from society and societal expectations. You know, back in the day, if you weren't married by like 15, everybody was like, what the hell? Because, you know, people didn't live as long. Well, I should say that's more like 300 years ago probably. And I guess that mentality has kind of just been passed down from generation to generation, even though the time frame has kind of increased. It went from like 15 to probably more like around 20 to now it's like maybe 25 to 30 range. But even then, everybody should live life on their own terms, according to their own timeline. You don't have to be married by 30. You don't need to have a family by 35 and own a house by then as well. Do things on the timeline that works for you. The important thing is that you make sure you're enjoying your time being a human being on planet Earth. That's what we need to focus on, because it's special that we're all here, right? Like, the odds of us existing are incredibly low. Not to mention the fact that it's amazing there's even anything in the universe to begin with, because there very well could have been nothing at all, and we wouldn't have been here, and we wouldn't have known that we didn't exist, because there would have been none of us to observe that fact. But everything in the universe is here, and we're here to witness it all. So just think about that and realize that your only purpose in life really is just to enjoy this moment, to enjoy being a human being. That's it. So that means you better live life on your own terms. Do what makes you happy. Don't live according to others. You don't need to go your whole life with a relationship. You don't need to have somebody hanging onto your arm just to please your parents or your friends or whoever it may be. That's stupid, especially if you just grab the first person who shows interest in you just to please everyone around you. Because what if that person's really toxic? Or what if they're just not a good match for you? Now you're going to be unhappy just to make your family and your friends happy. It's stupid, because then you're robbing yourself of your own happiness. And your friends and family should want you to be happy first and foremost. They shouldn't want you to just not be single and choose some random person to make them happy. If your family and your friends are actually good for you, then they want you to be happy as well. And that means they should be comfortable knowing that that may mean that you'll stay single until you meet someone who's actually going to help you stay happy, not someone who will make you happy. Don't go looking for someone to make you happy. That is a big mistake. You need to make yourself happy first and foremost, and then share your happiness with someone else. It's really important. But yeah, I mean, it's huge, guys. Just don't go through life believing that being single is a bad thing, because it really isn't. And I mean, let me share with you one of my favorite aspects of being single: the freedom that it gives you. Like, I think about that all the time. Freedom is like my main ideal. It's like the number one thing that I treasure in life, and it's why I have a lot of issue with governments and whatnot, but I won't get into it. I'm not an anarchist. I do believe government's needed, but I just believe government should have way less power than they do, because they take away a lot of our freedoms, and then they inevitably get power hungry and start taking away more and more. Yeah, I won't get into it, but yeah, freedom is like the main ideal to me. And I often think about the fact that I wouldn't want to give that up for just any woman, nor do I truly believe I'd have to give up all of it for a woman, but certainly there are compromises you have to make in a relationship to make it work. And being single, I don't have to do any of that, right? Like, my freedom is my own. When I'm single, I can do what I want when I want, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody can tell me that what I'm doing makes them not happy, or that, So that's a great benefit of being single. Just, you have the freedom to do what you want, when you want, and there's like nobody else that is going to basically be, I guess, trying to get more of your time, which would prevent you from doing some of the things that you want to do all the time. That's just one thing, and there are plenty of others, like saving money for all my fellow gents out there. If you're a single guy, you save a ton of money. We all know having a girlfriend can be expensive, especially if you have a girlfriend who wants you to pay for everything. So yeah, that's another great benefit of it. But also just being able to like go on holidays and whatnot without somebody kind of either wanting to join you, or I mean, my roommate in his last relationship with his ex, she would kind of accuse him of cheating every time he left the state or went on a trip somewhere, went on vacation to see his family without him. Anytime he did anything like that without her, she would accuse him of cheating. Like, you don't have to deal with that kind of crap when you're single. So there are a lot of benefits to it, and those are just some. But more people need to think about that, because we often fall into the mentality of the grass is greener on the other side. But as some people say, the grass is greener where you water it. And you can make being single freaking awesome if you really want to. Just work on enjoying your own company more so you don't feel lonely, because that's really one of the biggest problems people encounter when they're single. They feel lonely. But I found that you feel lonely way more if you don't like your own company. So if you work on that, if you get to a place where you can enjoy yourself just being by yourself, hey, you won't get lonely as often. Sure, you still will from time to time, but not nearly as often. So that's a huge tip right there. But otherwise, just stop looking at people in relationships, at couples, as being super happy and having life made, because you never truly know what they're going through. And a couple that looks happy on Instagram or Facebook and seems like they're having the best day of their life on Valentine's Day could go home or the next day and immediately have a big fight. So you just never know what people are doing. So until then, just work on enjoying being single more, and don't view it as a bad thing, because it really isn't. It gives you all the time in the world to just do you. Do everything that you want to do to work on yourself and make your life better. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video. I truly hope you enjoyed this one, and if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, like the video. That's the easiest way you can help me out to boost the algorithm, because lately my impressions have just been tanking across the board. But oh well, I don't know why it's happening. Who knows? Maybe I've pissed off the algorithms with some of the topics I talk about, but who cares? But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know if you have other advice for other singles out there, because I mean, I'm sure a lot of people could use it. But otherwise, guys, remember, we're all in this journey together. So the most important thing is that you just keep going, keep moving forward, and keep working on making your life as awesome as possible, and keep working on enjoying your own company, because that right there makes life so much better that I can't even put into words how much of an advantage it gives you over everyone else. I mean, I can just tell you, I have a good time on my own, a great time just going through life, even just doing things alone without other people with me. I can make myself laugh and just have a blast on my own. And that right there, it's huge, because you're going to be going through basically, well, yeah, your entire life in your own company. So it only makes sense to actually enjoy your own company. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Arrivederci!